Okay, hey and welcome to yet another IC82 video. This is another part of the Series 4 prologue. We're really getting through it now, so just bear with me, don't worry, not long to go. The end is in sight. We've got yet another train pack from Hornby. I don't know why, but 2 or 3 years ago I must have been having some major train pack phase, because I've opened loads of these, haven't I? And there's still some to come. But yeah, it's the typical Hornby train pack packaging that we're used to. It doesn't really give away very much. There is a little sticker on the back, but that's about it. So I'm going to open it up and put everything on the top and then have a look at it. Okay, so once the box is opened, this is what you get basically. A nice locomotive, in this case it's a Black 5. 3 LMS coaches, they're just standard quality, they're nothing special. You do get some instructions, but I've put them into my folder already. And you get one of these, certificate of authentication. Now this is quite interesting because actually I've done quite a few of these sets already, but I haven't been looking at the certificates. Look, see, there's the one for the Canada. There's the one for the the Caledonian single wheeler. Right, yeah, well, we'll get onto that later. And then there's the Heart of Midlothian. And they're quite nice because they do give you some information on the train and on the service. And that's what the name of this pack is. It's the name of a service, the Thames Forth Express. So that's the River Thames in London to the River Forth up in Scotland, near Edinburgh, I think. Yeah, there we go. So the service ran from London St Pancras right up to Edinburgh Waverley. And that's quite interesting as well because this service only ran until about World War II. And then it was scrapped, obviously, because it was the war and, you know, we hadn't got time for running express passenger services for people. We had a war to fight. But after the war, when the service was reintroduced, it was simply called the Waverley. Are you catching the Waverley? Yeah, I'm catching the Waverley. All right, let's catch the Waverley. Now, I prefer the Thames Forth Express as a name, but, well, I guess they just wanted to change it to the Waverley, and so they did. But what's also interesting is the second service, when it was reintroduced, wasn't as quick. It wasn't as good. I don't know why. I don't know whether they changed locomotives, or changed rolling stock, or changed the route, but it wasn't as fast. If you'd have done the service in the 20s or 30s, you'd have gotten there quicker than had you have done it in the 50s or 60s. Interesting. And right at the very bottom it says it's partially, you know, keyword partially representative of those used on the Thames Forth Express, the rolling stock, the locomotive and rolling stock. Partially. What do they mean by partially representative? I mean, I don't understand that. Are they saying that actually the coaches in real life were pink, or that the locomotives were always double-headed with a 9F? I don't know what it means by partially. So if you know anything more about that, then please feel free to tell me. But it's accurate, 1930s, because look, if we just take the tender off, LMS. So this was before the pre-grouping. This was before everything was grouped together into British Rail. LMS. So yeah, London Midland Scottish, and it's a gorgeous Black 5, absolutely gorgeous. The railroad LMS coaches aren't quite as nice. No, it has to be said. There's nothing really special about them. But, you know, they're there, and I suppose it's important to keep the pack price down. So, let's have a look at it in detail. Okay, right, I've cleared everything out of shot because, you know, I'm OCD like that. I like nice, clean borders. Let's have a look at the locomotive first. It's a Black 5. Everybody must know that by now. Look at it. It's iconic. And I really do feel that these locomotives, that they're exceptional. They really are the unsung heroes of the railway world, because, you know, it's the locomotives like Mallard and Flying Scotsman and the Duchess of Hamilton that get all the attention, they get all the press, they get all the love and the joy. And that's a shame, because these locomotives are just as important, in fact, more important. You know, these were running all around our country, all around the United Kingdom, I should say. You might not be from here. When the war was on, and helping to keep the war effort going. They were delivering supplies and delivering people, and there were loads of them, and you could see them in any part of the country, any corner. They were everywhere. Scotland, Cornwall, London, Birmingham, Wales. Wherever you lived, you weren't far from a Black 5. And for that reason, I love them. And I just think it's such a nice shape as well. It's just such a beautiful locomotive. I like the ever so slightly tapered boiler there. The nice sturdy chimney at the front. The cylinders on the side, the beautiful linkage, the wheel arrangement, how it's just a nice simple 460. It doesn't need to be anything else. And you'll see there that the power designation, that the 5P and 5F, you see it's a mixed capabilities locomotive. It really can do anything, passenger or freight, which is why they were so versatile. Nice stannier tender as well, which is really, really good. We'll look at the tender first, quite bizarrely, because you can take out the fake load. There we go. Let's just take that out. So you can put in your own load of coal if you want to and make that look really good. And I am going to do that. I will do that in Series 4. Series 4 is going to be about 130 videos, I think. Yeah, but you get a coupling as well. It's not a NEM coupling. Or is it? Actually, no, tell a lie, it is. I'm being a moron. It is a NEM coupling. The little connector here is a wishbone type thing, isn't it? It's like a dovetail. That's it, a dovetail. It's a dovetail connection, but the actual coupling is NEM. That can be removed and you can put in something else if you want to. Now, the buffers are sprung, which is really good, and they're sprung on the locomotive too. See, there we go. So the Black 5 is a premium Black 5. It really is. And look, you even get cab detail. Look at that. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. There's not masses, you know, we've seen better, but considering it's a train pack locomotive, that's pretty good. So yeah, there's rivets where there's supposed to be rivets. We've got gorgeous metal handrails down the side, nice detail on the safety valves. This little, oh, I was going to say it doesn't move, but it does. I tried to push it earlier and it wouldn't. Oh, I was looking at another one earlier. Yeah, I was looking at the 8F. I was getting confused earlier when I was rehearsing the video. And it's the 8F that doesn't have a slidey roof, but the Black 5 does. Ace. Right, okay. Fantastic linkage. Just look at that. I think this is the reverser, that bar there coming down from the cab. Basically, the driver would, you know, crank that into a different position and it would make all of the gear go in the opposite direction. So that's really rather fantastic. Yeah, oh, beautiful. I love the Black 5. I do. You know that. You know, if you, come on, if you're my regular viewers, my regular subscribers, you'll know I'm a huge fan of the Black 5. And I'm not alone, am I? If you're a fan of the Black 5 too, hold your hand up. Let's just put this fake load back in. Okay, so that's the locomotive. And then we've got the coaches. Now, unfortunately, they're not incredible. Look, brown ends. What? I mean, it makes the coaches look like they're Annie and Clarabelle rejects or something. That's not very realistic, is it? They should be black. The ends should be black. But they're railroad coaches. They're budget coaches. They're just to keep the prices down. They're not bad. The detail is okay. It's okay. The roof is, well, it's adequate. It's fine. The underframe detail is okay. The bogies are pretty basic. The buffers are plastic and they are not sprung. The couplings are gigantic tension locks, which isn't very realistic, but is very good on tight corners. So, you know, I just wish that these were black. I suppose you could paint them. You could paint them black if you wanted to, which really would help, but I haven't done that yet. I haven't got around to doing that yet. In fact, if I just pause recording for a second, I'll show you a couple of other LMS coaches. Okay, I'm back, and I've got a couple of extra LMS coaches now, so if I just put those three slightly out of shot, we've got one there, and we've got another one here. Now the one I'm going to show you first is this one. Look, black ends. Look how different that is compared to the railroad one that is in circulation now. See how much better it looks, how much more realistic it is. But this is from the 80s. Well, it's either the 90s or the 80s. This is one I've had a long, long time, and I've looked after it, I'm pleased to report. It originally had plastic wheels, but I have taken those off and put metal ones in. It's quite easy. You just, open it up and swap them over. But then Hornby, they stopped this sort of standard LMS coach in favour of a 2-tier system. Because this is premium. This is their new range of premium LMS coaches, and I have to say it is exquisite. Look at this. Sprung buffers, metal, NEM couplings, slim line as well, nice small NEM couplings, metal detail on the roof there. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Really are fantastic coaches, and I should think so too, because they're quite expensive. They're at least, 25, 30, 35, even £40 each, which is almost as much as those ridiculously priced Pullman coaches that light up. But they're nice. They're really, really nice. So I'm going to have to get me a load more of them, aren't I? Yeah, definitely. But for now, we'll make do with these rather cheapo budget LMS coaches. So the coaches aren't too bad. The locomotive is brilliant. It's not a 10 out of 10. It's not. But it's certainly a 9 or an 8. And its performance is great too. Let me show you. Right, so here I am, over at the layouts. Just check it's still stuck down, all okay? Yep, it's fine. And let's put the locomotive on the track. I really do love the Black 5s. I can't get enough of them. They're just so versatile. You can do anything with them. They're kind of like the Ford Focus or Ford Transit of its day. They really are. They're just so reliable, so economical, and they're everywhere. Just like a Ford Transit or a Ford Focus. I've been looking at the Ford Focus RS actually. Here's my next car. Right, so there it is. She's on the track. She's DC currently. I operate a hybrid system. I keep having to explain this to people. At the flick of a switch, I can make my layout and the new one DC or DCC, and I can control individual loops as well. So we could have this DCC whilst this is DC. You just need to have a DCC controller plugged into that and a DC controller plugged into this. You obviously don't let the two mix, but then if you're running separate trains, you're unlikely to want to mix them anyway. Right, okay, so rant over. Because she's DC, I will be running her in DC mode today with a DC controller. The power is on, the direction is set, so let's just give her a little bit of a wiggle. Ah, look at that. And she hasn't been ran in ages as well. But it's just such a fantastic motor, such a great mechanism. Ah, so smooth. Look at that. That's DC. I have to flash it up on the screen at the moment. That is a DC locomotive. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, I'll get her going then. We'll follow the locomotive around a little bit, and then we'll put the coaches on and see what she's like with the coaches. There's a silky hum that comes from this locomotive. I know that probably doesn't make any sense at all, but she's just got such a gentle way about her. The smoothness of the motor and the operation of the mechanism, it's just so gentle. It's quality. It really is quality. I mean, the motor in the Princess Coronations there, they're good. The motors in them are good. They're very strong too. But they've put what I think is the same motor in the Black 5 because, again, it's really quite capable. There's plenty of haulage capability, but it's just so quiet. It's so smooth. Everyone needs a Black 5. They do, I'm not joking. Every layout, even if you're running a 2012 London Underground, you need a Black 5. You do. You just do. Take my word for it. They're fantastic. They're great locomotives, and no model railway is complete without one. You can use them for freight. You can use them for express services. You can use them for shunting. You can use them for branch line work. You name it, it will do it. Okay, so we've seen her go around the layout quite a bit now. She's done quite a few laps, so let's just slow her right down. Just look at that. Ooh, 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 ooh. For DC, honestly, that's brilliant. Yep, very, very happy. Very happy with that. So I'm going to go get her coaches and we'll load them on. Okay, so all of her coaches are loaded on, just those three. The three that she comes with. I may put some extra on in a little bit, just because it would look really cool. So let's just get her to slowly back up onto the coaches. Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. I don't think Mrs. Jones in Coach B spilt coffee all over her blouse that time. Right, change direction. Take it away, Black 5. I'll go slow at first, and then I'll give her a little bit more juice in a bit. Okay, here she comes. Just look at that. There's just something so comforting, so British about Black 5. I love it. Okay, 3 coaches just isn't enough. I'm going to put a load more on, I think. Get her going much quicker, because she's worth it. She really is. Right, I'll go get a load of extra coaches then, whack those on, and then we'll see what she looks like. Okay, right, I'm back. I put a whole load of extra coaches on. We've got something like 7 now. Well, no, I've put on 7. So the total is actually 10. 7 plus 3, so it's 10 coaches. We've got the premium LMS coach here with the fancy sprung buffers and gold plated seats and stuff, and then we've got a couple of male coaches right down there, and then basically everything else. So it's not entirely accurate. It's certainly not entirely representative of the Thames Forth Express in the 1930s, but it should look pretty cool. So I'm going to get the Black 5 to back up onto this premium coach here, and then take the whole thing away and around the layout basically. So come on, Mr. Black 5, here he comes. Here he goes. Whoa, not too fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down. There we go. Let's just test that you're coupled up okay. Oh yes. And again, for just 10 coaches, there's plenty of haulage capability here. We don't need to worry about it at all. So, for the final time today, take it away, Black 5. I mean, this is all fine and dandy and fine, but I don't think she's going quick enough. I don't. I think I need to head over to the controller and speed her up a little. Okay, here goes. Possibly a little bit too much. Yeah, that's more like it. Flat fives. You've just got to love them.